March 20th, 1998. It is a chilly, overcast night in Grove City, Ohio. Inside the local Cracker Barrel, a celebration is taking place. Stan Meyer is sitting with his twin brother Steven. Across from them sit representatives from the Belgian investment group. One of them is Philippe van de Mortel, a man who had been funding Meyer for years. But in the initial police report, a strange detail was noted. The officers described Van de Mortel and his associate not as businessmen, but as NATO officers. A mistake? Or a slip of the tongue? The report was later corrected. The deal on the table is massive, a buyout of Meyer's technology, worth millions. To seal the agreement, the group orders a round of drinks. Stan Meyer raises a glass of cranberry juice. He toasts to the future. He takes a sip, and immediately he grabs his throat. He stumbles away from the table, bursting into the parking lot. His brother Steven runs after him. Meyer collapses on the asphalt. Violent convulsions rack his body. As his brother cradles his head, Stan whispers his final words. They poisoned me. The investigation was swift. The Franklin County coroner ruled the death natural, a cerebral aneurysm brought on by high blood pressure. No poison was found. The case was closed. But this conclusion ignores the context of the man who died, because Stan Meyer was not just an inventor, he was a defendant. 2 years earlier, in 1996, he stood trial for gross and egregious fraud. The court had appointed a heavyweight to test his car, Professor Michael Lawton of Queen Mary University, London. Lawton was a fellow of the Royal Academy of Engineering. He arrived at Meyer's garage ready to test the machine, but Meyer refused to let him near it. Meyer claimed the patent office was reviewing it. Lawton left. The court ruled against Meyer. To the world, he was a fraud. So, was his death just the stress of a con man caught in a lie? Or was the fraud verdict just the first step in the silencing? To understand why anyone would want him dead, you have to ignore the court. You have to look at the patent. Meyer claimed his device didn't use standard electrolysis. Electrolysis uses amps, raw current, to muscle the atoms apart. It generates heat. It wastes energy. Meyer claimed he used voltage. He built a voltage intensifier circuit. By hitting the water molecule with a specific pulsed frequency, he claimed to create a resonant cavity. The water molecule would vibrate, stretch, and then fracture. If he was right, he hadn't just built a car. He had violated the second law of thermodynamics, and he had painted a target on his back. Shoreham, Long Island. Nikola Tesla stands in the mud, overseeing the construction of a 187-foot tower. To the public, and to his financier J.P. Morgan, this was a radio transmitter, a way to send Morse code across the Atlantic. But Tesla had lied. In his private journals, he described a world system, a network that wouldn't just transmit data, but power. He believed the Earth itself was a conductor. By tapping into the planet's resonant frequency, he could turn the globe into a tuning fork, providing limitless, wireless electricity to any point on the surface. Stick a rod in the ground in London, or a light bulb in the sand of the Sahara, and it would turn on. But he promised something even more terrifying to the establishment. He claimed this network would allow for the instant transmission of images, voice, and text to a handheld device anywhere in the world. In 1901, Tesla had invented the internet, and that was his mistake. J.P. Morgan was not a man interested in progress. He was interested in control. Morgan owned the copper mines that wired America. He owned the rubber plantations that insulated those wires. He owned General Electric. Tesla's tower used the earth. It required no copper, no rubber, no metering. If energy is free, you cannot sell it. Morgan knew this because he had already fought a war to protect his empire, a war that proved exactly how bloody the establishment would get. Years earlier, Thomas Edison, Morgan's pawn, was losing the battle for electricity. His direct current was failing. Tesla's alternating current was winning. Unable to compete on science, Edison competed on fear. He printed pamphlets warning that AC lines would kill families in their sleep. He coined a new term for execution by electrocution, Westinghousing. But pamphlets weren't enough. Edison needed a body count. He began paying schoolboys 25 cents for every stray dog and cat they could steal. He staged public demonstrations, hooking these animals up to Tesla's AC generators and flipping the switch. It culminated in the secret funding of the electric chair, designed specifically to associate Tesla's name with death. The lesson was learned. Back at Wardenclyffe, Morgan pulled the plug. He withdrew all funding, and crucially, he warned other investors on Wall Street, do not touch Tesla. The tower was abandoned, sold for scrap to pay for hotel bills. Tesla, the man who invented the 20th century, died alone in room 3327 of the New Yorker Hotel. He spent his final years feeding pigeons. But the story doesn't end with his death. It ends with the theft. Days after he died, the FBI ordered the Office of Alien Property to seize his estate, an ironic name considering Tesla had been a U.S. citizen for 52 years. They took 80 trunks of documents, specifically the files on Teleforce, a proposed particle beam weapon, or death ray. The government needed an expert to evaluate the threat. They called in an MIT engineer. His name was John G. Trump. Trump reviewed the physics. He declared the weapon speculative and of no military value. The files were boxed up. And yet, despite having no value, they were never fully released. They vanished into the archives, just like the water fuel cell. Tesla's story shows the pattern for suppressing energy, but the pattern becomes even darker when it targets our health. San Diego, a different kind of genius. Royal Rife was looking through a lens no one else had. He had built the universal microscope, 60,000 times magnification. While other scientists saw dead samples, Rife could see viruses alive. And in that world, he claimed a discovery. Every microbe had a mortal oscillatory rate, a specific frequency that could destroy it. He called his invention the beam ray. In 1934, a team of doctors put the machine to the test. The patients, 16 of them, all had terminal cancer. According to the clinic's director, Dr. Milbank Johnson, after 90 days, 14 of the 16 patients were declared cured. The news should have changed the world. Instead, it attracted the gaze of Morris Fishbein. Fishbein ran the American Medical Association. He didn't practice medicine, he practiced control. The AMA's revenue came from advertising drugs in their journal, drugs that people had to take forever. Rife's invention was a device. It was a one-time cure. It threatened the entire model. According to Rife's supporters, Fishbein's associates first tried to buy the rights. Rife refused. And so, the pattern began. Fishbein used the AMA's journal to brand Rife a quack. Doctors who had supported Rife were threatened with losing their licenses. Then, the erasure. Dr. Milbank Johnson, the man who ran the successful trial, died suddenly in 1944, just hours before a press conference to reveal the truth. The report vanished. And finally, the fire. A mysterious arson fire destroyed the Burnett lab, which housed Rife's confirmation data. Royal Rife, the man who claimed to cure cancer, died a broken man. Broke and completely unknown. Stan Meyer, Nikola Tesla, Royal Rife. 3 men, 3 different eras, 3 different inventions. But look at the timeline, look at the outcome. Phase 1, the invention threatens a monopoly. Phase 2, the buyout is rejected. Phase 3, the character assassination begins. Phase 4, the files disappear. It is not a conspiracy, it is an immune response. The system is designed to protect itself. We like to think we live in the age of maximum progress. But as you charge your phone and pay your medical bills and fill your gas tank, you have to ask yourself one question. What world would we be living in if the files hadn't been taken? And what else is currently classified?